Come on, man, what the fuck? Yo, so there's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, 30 minutes of gameplay from Ubisoft Forward, from the first part of Ubisoft Forward. And yeah, let's check this fucking shit out. Oh man, what the fuck? This fucking light now coming down, damn it. Okay, let's go. Okay. Check this out. Oh, damn. Fuck.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf Nagid, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're joined by a very special guest here.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest.
I know some people are kind of pissed off because they decided to go with the female character, but this is just a gameplay, guys. Basically, you know, before that we always had male character picked over the female character if you want. And they just want you to see that yes, kind of changes are here. Now this is going to be like this, you know. Now you're going to see a lot more like first-hand on gameplay and trailers with female characters over the male characters, and there's no fucking need to complain about it because you can pick whatever the fuck you want, man. So it doesn't fucking matter what the fuck they're showing you in the fucking gameplay demo or whatever. It doesn't matter. Male, female, you don't give a fuck. Play the damn game how you want to play it, okay? No need to fucking go out and complain and say, man, fucking pushing this narrative. What the fuck do you... Why do you even care? Get the game, play the game the way you want to play it.
He lives. Oswald lives!
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor has taken her entire army through the assault, and finally, it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? Two Danes fighting over a
White
filthy
Eivor
Saxon horse?
for male and female. That's kind of weird.
This swine is your prize. Come and get him.
Okay,
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive,
kind of
we have
boss
Rued within our
fight now.
sights. What's the next
Hunting
step?
wolf.
So the next move for Eivor is to finally face off against Rued. She has her allies, they can take care of the rest of the army. Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in
You see,
one of our boss battles.
I think that it will be more... It will be better to play it on PlayStation 5 because
And it's
they
worth
said
pointing out,
that
actually, that here what we're
those
showing
new
is
controllers,
go
they have
and facing off
some
against
sort of a
Rued.
better
Basically, what you
sensitivity or
tend
something
to
like that, you know,
always have
like
to
when you
support
see
your
her
defenses
using
and
the bow and
approach those
arrow,
things.
so
if
you will kind of
just a little
feel,
bit more stealthy
you know,
and gotten
when you will
at least like a good critical hit
like
on
push the
Rued,
trigger, you know,
and so
before
you can
that
play this a little bit
it
more
didn't really matter
if that's
what kind of weapon you're
So
using.
we're not only fighting Rued here,
It will
but
always
also
feel the same
right?
when you're playing.
My preferred strategies is
Now,
to eliminate the
with the
wolf first,
new
just focus fire on him.
sort of
It takes at least
fucked
one
up,
opponent out of the
fucked up
combat.
sensitivity,
Now, Rued
I don't know
will
what
have
PlayStation 5
abilities that
controllers.
come into play if you do eliminate
If you're using the bow and arrow, when you press the button, when you press the trigger, it will feel like if you were sort of like pulling back on that bow, you know? If I understood that correct, and I might be wrong, so don't take it with some grain of salt, I would say. But basically, this is what I understood from what people said about the new PS5 controller. So this is why I think it might be interesting to play it on PS5. maybe.
Do not
I don't know.
down to the sewage.
After all, Xbox, I mean Microsoft, they were kind of advertising more this Assassin's Creed.
With these wastrels, these arrogant swine.
This motherfucker doesn't have a finger.
He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
Alright, so we've defeated Ruid, we've freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald
If this motherfucker doesn't have a finger, it means that
to be kept alive.
he is also an assassin, but she's wearing the hidden blade
True to your nature.
above.
So we have this choice to
And
make.
it's kinda weird.
But
I
before
don't
we get
know.
into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind
Why
and
not
see
choose
how
a
we went
female
about
name
first
for
gathering
the
those
female
troops.
character?
Right. So
That might be
when
kind
coming
of
up to an
stupid. I
assault,
mean,
it's a game of
Eivor,
numbers. Eivor can go into pretty much any
Evil man,
location
evil
and be
women.
a
They could have
stealthy
gone with
Viking, eliminating
Sigurd,
some of
or
the
I don't
assets,
know.
which ultimately would be a strategy. You
Reed,
can do
I don't know,
that,
something
and you'll
like
have
that, you know.
some of the ingredients
The
or
evil, I
the
know.
assets there that will have been sabotaged, but you
That's
still
weird.
need an army. So here what we're seeing is Eivor going around the countryside and raising what we call a third, which is the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a king. So here Eivor is going around.
I don't know
and
why, but I'm getting
to
some
fight in
some
the
sort
name
of a
Oswald
Witcher 3
to finally
vibe.
take down the oppressor
This.
that is Ruid.
Defending East Anglia, defending you. Will you not do the same?
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership.
Gotta
that
confess,
Oswald had, what he meant
I
to the
did not
people
play
in his
Assassin's
name. She's
Creed
going to recruit
Odyssey.
these people.
I only
Words, Dane.
kind of started it,
Eivor have their
but then it felt kind of fucked up for
So we're
me.
told by this Reeve that there are troops
Felt
that
kinda
are
shitty,
allies that he can
and
add
I
to
did
our
not
cause.
want to continue.
But first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Ruid, and the
Viking
impact
shit
out
is
of
my
territory,
shit, so
I think
yeah.
a lot of these people have sort of lost hope, and so
I'm looking
you need
for
to show
Valhalla.
them that there is hope. And so here Eivor is basically helping them take back one of their prized locations
She's
by
wearing the-
taking a couple men
thing
and raiding a nearby
for the bow.
township. Basically
The
taking it
graphics
back for
looks
the people
amazing.
and showing that there's
beautiful.
a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side.
Also, that scene, I mean, when they show her like jumping in the water. I mean, it's a video game, but you see what she's wearing. I mean, what you will be wearing, like this Viking outfit. If you jump into water, and then you have to go, man. First of all, the smell will smell fucking terrible. I'm not picking some shit right now, but it's kind of true.
You have some brutal axe throwing.
Well,
in
at
there.
least
you have archery or
for
like
the
range
gameplay,
combat abilities in there as well. So really,
they could
again,
have
like depending
avoid
on what your
jumping
play
into
style
water.
is, you can customize your loadout
Yeah.
and go in there how
If I
you
can
wish.
chop fucking heads off. This motherfucker is on fire! Yo,
Fizz, we just saw this giant pulse go out. What exactly was that?
So
the
that is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the eagle vision from previous games, and we thought it was good to sort of bring that back. It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's
is
how
he
she
always
perceives
going
the
through
world. When the player
that
uses that,
axe
you can-
like this?
It'll
Like,
highlight
what the
basically
fuck?
interactive objects, like things that will bring her an advantage. So we'll have arrows,
kinda
like
taking
health consumables that are in there.
no
So it really is like a
credibility out of
good
it.
way of sort of
I'm kind of
understanding
just
the
a
world
little
and
bit
showing
disappointed
you
by the fact that
things
it
you
looks
can go and
too
touch.
much like Odyssey. And Origins also.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can
Like,
touch,
I don't know,
just picked up
maybe,
this awesome new
of
weapon.
course they
It's something we wanted
It
to
put a
play with
lot of
on
effort
Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
into
where
making
we have
those
fewer weapons in the
landscapes,
game,
you know,
but you can invest in them more, so they
weapons,
become
everything.
your
Yo.
weapon. And so depending what your preferred
Yo, shit.
playstyle is or your preferred weapon,
Fuck
type,
the
then you can
window
go and choose,
right
I'm gonna-
open like this.
I'm gonna fight with this weapon and invest heavily into
That's a
that.
cool
Not
detail.
only are we looting weapons, but we see something here called the Book of Knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
They unlock skills for the players. So
Your
here you can
abilities.
see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We
Valkyrie
have these
dive.
spread out throughout the world. So again, to promote exploration and discovery.
Right.
As you travel through the world and you explore locations, you can find these books that will add abilities that you can go and invest in, put into your loadout, then go into the different locations or the different quests in the
Looks
game
amazing.
and use those depending on what your playstyle is.
Now we've recaptured this village, we've secured more troops for our assault.
She's going
Let's
cold.
jump back now and figure out
Royal
what we
Serpent.
want to do with the Ruin.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
No, he's got
Passion is a virtue
all these
suited
fingers.
for anyone able, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decided to let him live.
Holy
Ruud
shit.
is really angry about that. Being a Norse
6'2",
Viking, being put to the
6'2".
death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied.
And she
access
looks
to
like
the situation.
Abby
Obviously, all
jumped
these decisions come
from
into play
Last of Us
later on
2
in the
right
game.
into
So
this
we
game.
have very
She was
decisions for
like,
the player to make. We didn't
okay
want
guys,
easy.
I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
Now I'm
when
up-
I was
I'm
playing,
about
I
to
decided
fuck up some
listen to
Saxons.
Oswald and spare Ruud's life.
But like,
What
if you were
exactly
on,
is the relationship like between
Now, where's my
Eivor
axe?
and Oswald?
I'm gonna
So
fuck
the
up some.
relationship between Eivor
fucking
and Oswald is an alliance. It's
Englishman.
basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that
Finland.
initially getting into England are hostile towards her, and obviously if you want to set up a new settlement, you
The
want to have
fuck?
make sure that your neighbor is friendly. So here in East Anglia, Oswald is the man. for the
Fucking
job
face, man.
where putting him into a position of power would help her sort of secure her territory. So earlier on to the territory, Eivor comes in here, meets
wrong?
Oswald. The problems he had with
Fuck
Rued are sort of
is
put to
wrong
light.
with your eyes?
Going through the arc, you basically help him
What
deal
is that?
with Rued
Damn,
and
Oswald.
aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
The fuck is going on? All the women
So,
are
Fizz,
fucking
we've
giant.
completed
What the
the
fuck?
assault, we've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Ruud.
Look
We
at
have
them.
this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to Oswald's wedding, what do you say we
Until
head
Dawn
out,
got
have some
this
fun,
fucking
and
bubblehead
see what
shit.
we can get into in the open?
These guys, I
That
don't know what
sounds
the
great.
fuck that is.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our some of my favorite
That's
moments
cool.
actually in the game where we put
Can
in
talk to
put
cats,
a whole bunch
that's
of
cool.
events throughout the territory. And it's sort
I
of
love that
rewards again, exploration,
tattoo
going around.
she got on
It's
her-
a chance for us also to sort of showcase
head.
a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her. So it permits us to explore that.
The other NPC was like, "Dumb.
And so here,
Fuck.
basically, like you're trying to help
Fuck,
a
she's
kid
so
with his
fucking
cat
tall,
and
man.
ultimately get that cat to sort of join your
Man, that's
crew.
that's a
as
fat cat.
Cat raider.
You just said cat raider way too casually. You're telling me I could have a cat Viking raider on my longship?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
This is
Oh my
fucking
God,
cool.
yes, I love it. Perfect.
10 out of 10.
So yeah, as you're
Fucking
riding
plane.
around
If you can
the
if you can have
rivers
a
of
fucking
England,
cat
you
raider,
see a cat
right
basically
there.
walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders.
Probably is going shit in the boat.
You know, speaking of the Viking
This is what
longship,
cats
we're
do.
seeing some of that gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so starting out on this project, I think the Viking longship is one of the biggest images that we all have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this
Does look
awesome
a little bit
design
like
for a
Witcher.
longship that had a very shallow hull.
Gotta
so
say
it
that.
permitted them to go very far inland very
that
quickly.
Witcher vibe.
And you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to
I don't
any
think that
location and then just
those
decide to disembark
boats
with your
were
guys and raid
so
a location, loot all his treasures,
much
get back on the ship,
custom,
and then continue
you know?
really,
I mean,
sailing down the river.
they're looking good.
To your next
These boats
opportunity.
are looking good. I don't think
So I know
they
past
were
Assassin's
that
Creed
much
games allow
color.
for songs
You know,
and
that
things like that to be sung
golden
on ships.
detail,
Will
like
Valhalla have
a
a
little
similar version
blue
of that?
and
Yeah,
reddish.
so this is something we actually
Maybe
wanted
it was
the
that.
crew of your
I
ship
don't
to
know.
become like your home away from home. So we added
Damn.
stories and songs into the ship. So basically, as a player,
It's
is
got
going
Raiders,
around, you can
that's cool.
decide to have your skull sort of sing a song for you as you row down the river. But you can also decide, depending on who the raiders are in your ship, to hear more about their life. So you can actually queue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool moment.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
We had this on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull back, take in the scenery, listen to some songs or some stories,
Yeah, it's cool.
and
This
just
is
take
cool
it all in.
because you're making it cinematic. That's cool. I love it. You know, I love it when you can play
So,
your
you know,
game
speaking of Viking songs,
like you're making your
we have
own
an activity
movie.
here that's not
You're trying to play
exactly
legit.
singing,
You
but
don't do
kind
no,
of related,
you don't do no.
Yeah, so here what we have
Sort of
is what we
bullshit,
call
you know,
fighting, which
running,
is an
jumping
activity
around.
that Norse people partake in. They would like to have
I do
a
play
battle of
like this
wits
sometime.
and sort of
Kinda
poetry
love it.
where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have
Man,
a good rhythm.
these guys
and
look like
a
they
good
took
rhyme in there.
like
So
a dozen
it's
of carpets,
basically a precursor
like
to
they put them
battles.
one up to another. Like,
Here's the
give me your
story.
cup.
Now begin.
Fucking use it.
To all those whom I speak, they say
This
"Hey,
guy
it's a clock."
have fucking 15 layers of clothes.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well,
How exactly do you go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence.
Some sort of a rap
and then
battle.
Trying to find what
A
rhyme.
Viking rap battle, you know?
My might.
Yeah, it is.
interesting. Interesting.
This is a fucking rap battle.
Silent whispers all claim that you're
Eminem needs to
terribly
play this
dense.
game.
Then you've clearly misheard them. My wit is immense.
Oh, you lucked out with that one. Well, what a surprise. Eivor of the Raven Clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Yeah, that's it. So we gave Eivor a fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop, where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies. So you'll find mushrooms and some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just, again, take it all in. So this is what we call one of our offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find around the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little things. So
Kids are kind of stealing your
dress up
stuff.
these moments and make it all fit inside the whole
Sounds like
experience.
you gotta go
It seemed
find
like a
them.
really sort of
Fuck
unexpected
them up.
turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just the pure rar Viking or the politician. Because you can imagine at some point that will grow old if you're always telling that version of the character. So it lets us really go into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of
Fuck is she
warfare
wearing?
and politics.
Your stealth needs work.
And it also showcases like a different
Man, what the
facet
fuck
of
is
the
this?
world at the same time. It's not only Eivor. So it just widens the breadth
She was
of stories that we
doing
can
a fucking
Who exactly are these
fucking
two?
makeup tutorial.
These are kids
Right
of
before-
East Anglia.
right before this
They
cutscene.
are going through tough times.
This is exactly how they look like.
been doing
The,
to the territory.
them fucking
And so
makeup
they're just here
tutorials.
trying to survive,
And I don't even watch.
basically
Makeup
execute
tutorials.
the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset.
This
with
little
them for
motherfucker looked
stealing,
like-
and after
he-
you talk
he
to them,
looked
you
like
have
a
choice of
trace.
helping them. You can give them food, give them
This-
some money.
this is a trace.
Or maybe
Look
just
at
say, hey, good luck on your way.
Yeah, and this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do it in Quest as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit, who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can role play that a little bit better. And again, it just gives sort of like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
Walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace.
Yes, it's a St. Martin seal. You're welcome here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
I will. Take care now, small green walkers.
So I think AC veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running down one of our tattoo images. So this is challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
Can you even jump
So
like
are we going
that?
to be able to tattoo Eivor?
When
Yes,
what
by
she's
collecting
wearing?
these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement, and then you
Maybe you
can
can, I
customize
don't
different
know.
body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again, their form of expression,
Damn.
and sort of to represent that
I'm telling you,
Viking
this is
culture.
this looks like Witcher.
Fizz, one of my favorite things when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house.
Looks a little bit like
and
Witcher.
realizing that there was a chest inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there, there must have been some way to get inside. So
What
I went
the-
around the back and
Hey man, what the fuck?
found a way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that.
Can zoom
You're
in
pointing
to
at something that we wanted to
fucking
work on a
aim
lot on
first person?
Valhalla, where
This
we wanted the
okay,
exploration
okay.
to make you feel smarter. So we
How
played a
to
lot with puzzle solving.
how to
so
break
making
into
sure that every
house
house that you
tutorial.
find sort of
There
appeals
you
to you,
go.
like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it.
Okay.
A little bit, so it'll challenge you on your observation
These dudes.
skills, logic.
I don't
Just
know if
trying to
he's
find
dead. Yeah,
how
he's
do I
dead.
get into this. So we play a lot with level design,
You
quest
see his
design
end?
to offer challenges to players, and you basically come out of it like with a better
Fuck?
feeling for the
Is it
exploration.
dead horse?
But you also get to see more of a story behind any of these locations, which we've crafted.
Yeah, actually.
So it gave us a little bit more time to sort of slow down the experience.
I
and-
don't know
and
if this was the
tell a
case
different
in
version of the story.
Odyssey, but I'm noticing that the HUD is kind of whoa. Oh shit, that's the eagle torture, or how is it
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
called?
speaking
Damn it,
about
eagle.
exploration and just finding things out in the world, I was just wandering and
No, it's
came
not.
across this
It
clearing
looks like.
and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as
Oh,
Eivor
shit, this is
explores, she can find altars like this,
Great.
and by interacting with them, here
Those-
is a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple steps to it later on. So this is one of the moments.
I
It
wonder
permits us to
if
go
there
into
will
slightly
be
more
like a
mystical realm
huge
and
map
play with a
for
boss fight
England,
that has
and then a huge map for like
and basically have this awesome
for
boss fight
Norway,
in the middle of the
or
swamps.
there will only be England.
And so here the abilities that
And
you
Norway
see,
will be some sort of
Regan
like
using,
flashback
are a little bit
cutscenes
on
or
the
something like
mystical
that.
side of things. What's happening is Eivor at the beginning in that trap is poison, and so she starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the
I guess
world
I'm
in
not a
sort of
big
different,
fan of
light
those
and
little
filter.
numbers
And so
of the
that's sort of
damage,
what lets
you know,
us go into this
that you see when,
the realm
like,
of the weird.
sort of damage counter. I don't know how you say this. Looks cool. If there's so much smoke, how the fuck do they breathe? This is my question. Yeah, they fucked up. You can't breathe in there. You can't. That looked cool. Oh shit, she's dead? No. Whoa. Ooh. Damn, son.
Demons.
Oh shit!
So we just saw here that Regan belongs to something called the Daughters of
That was
Uri.
cool.
Yeah, that's correct. By finding the other daughters, you'll get a little bit more backstory on
This
who they
dog
are, so we don't want to spoil that too much.
puts a smile
but
on
it
my
creates
face.
like a sort of greater story that is not on the main path in any
I
way,
love those
but
fucking
it's still very
cool,
rich and adds
badass
the
animations
lore
when you
of this
kill
world that
someone.
actually plays into
Like in God of War, you know,
So we just had a really exciting, really
Like
intense
when you
boss battle.
you had a
I think it's time for something a
strong
little bit more relaxing and calming
hit.
now.
Yeah,
And you're like,
here it's all about pacing yourself with the
you
highs
cut
and
the
lows. So here we have
fucking
a low
fucking
chill
dude
moment
in
of
half,
what we
you know?
call building a
That's cool.
cairn. So Eivor, as
It's
she
all the
explores
finishes.
the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you could just stack on on top of another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest pile of rocks, but really it's about taking in the sights, relaxing, taking a step back, and just building something.
Together we stack stones into
Cool.
cairns.
to get the highest pile of rock, man.
Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the cairn stones high and wide into any shape.
I'm already seeing
I mean,
dude.
you can spend as much time as you want building these
So
things,
they get
and
up
as
to-
high as you want, as weird as
They're
you
stopping up like
want. I'm sure later
4
on
pieces
this stuff will
of rocks. The shit falls down.
structures. And the cool thing is that once you've built it,
Make break.
and you decide to get out of it, it sort of
And you've been
stays
breaking
there, and so
fucking
that's yours,
controls
right?
because of this.
Until the moment where you come back and you want to build a new one, it's sort of cool that we were able to give that.
Minigames
to
are
players to
cool in
express
video
themselves.
games.
At this point in the demo,
Like in
we've
Last of
explored
Us
East Anglia,
Part 2,
we've met
there's
some
a
children,
really cool
we've broken into a house, we fought a boss,
guitar
we built a
minigame.
cairn. I think now it's finally time to
Doesn't mean the
go
game is
and
good.
head off to Oswald's wedding.
Minigame.
Yeah, so this is the moment it's all been building up to. By the moment you get into the territory, it's sort of like mentioned by Oswald that he's trying to
Who's that
get
guy?
married with his
Oswald.
Dane lady. And so as you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying thread. Really, it's about Rued creating turmoil in the territory and helping Oswald sort of get above that and show that he's a good leader. And so you finally, after going through all of
I don't
their,
know, this is
finally
just
get
me,
these
but
two together, go through their
looks a little bit
their
boring.
wedding, and you're invited
Just
to
a
attend
little
the
bit
ceremony. And then all the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
I was expecting. Yeah, I gotta
as
say
much
that
as
I
we've
was expecting
seen
a little bit
the
more.
side of England, it's nice to see
I don't know,
the dark
realism.
side of it as well.
Yeah, it's something we really wanted
was
to
expecting this game
play
to be a
on
little bit more
in
real,
Valhalla,
you know.
where being a Viking
And I've
is
seen
not
that this is a
only
lot
about being
like
a raider or
Odyssey.
warrior.
Odyssey was
I mean, there's revelry,
like
there's
that
feasting, there's partying that goes
hardcore
on. Like if
RPG,
someone knows
you
how to
know?
party, it's a Viking.
So-
and so here, this is one of our opportunities to sort of show that, show what a sort
Okay,
of
that's
Viking
cool.
gathering is. And what's cool here is it's a good
this
alliance
going.
of
This gotta be cool
Norse
to
culture
do this,
with
but in
Saxon
real life,
culture,
you know.
sort of smashing those
Get your
things
homeboys.
together, and building bridges.
Yeah, I mean, what's a wedding without some drunk archery, right?
Yeah, so like,
Yeah, this is
anything can
what
happen
I'm
in
gonna
in a Viking event,
Next
right?
part.
Eivor, yeah, here, just get drunk and shoot some
Drunk,
arrows.
drunk archery, drunk axe throwing.
Barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all. My king, he...
Oh shit!
So here we see the decision I made to spare Rued came back to bite us.
Yep, that's the decision you made, coming back. So, as we
Okay.
said before, all
Okay.
your decisions have consequences, and this
Not
is a
bad.
big one.
That's cool. So yeah.
I challenge
So the decisions you're taking, like the choices you're making in the game,
You're basically presented.
they
with the
have
option
some
to
sort of impact.
step in for Oswald, fight the fight for him, or let him go and fight his own fight.
Yeah, you know, personally, I chose to fight myself because I thought Eivor is the type of person who likes to finish what she started.
Man, he's challenging you.
And the dead king cannot keep his oaths.
You see her, man. I mean,
Oswald, you gutless Irish swine! I'll slay the wolf-kissed, then hang you with your
she
own
gonna
tongue.
whip his ass.
How does this encounter with Rued differ
Hardcore
from
ass
the
whipping.
previous fight?
Oh shit!
So at this point,
see,
you've eliminated his
I
wolf,
don't
so it's
really
just
like
him.
this
And so he's
in
angry
games.
at this point.
I mean,
And so
I
he
know
will
this
start
is a
using
video
his,
game,
his
but
big gun
those
abilities,
kind of
like,
axe
fairly
hits,
earlier on in the fight. So
you have
it's
to be
way more
dead.
vicious, way
Like
faster.
she
There's less
already
strategy. He
killed him.
goes literally swords blazing
Those
at you.
fucking axe hit,
And
I
so
don't know.
This is a fight to the death.
This is what kind of pisses me off in some games. Like in God of War, it's still kind of credible because you are not fighting humans, you are fighting like those
And
draw
of course, here,
creatures,
like, this is a
you know.
decision you made to go and fight
this
him,
is
but there's multiple
Assassin's
outcomes
Creed.
to this scenario. You could have let
That's why I didn't
fight his
really
own
mind
and prove basically
that
his station as the
fighting,
leader.
you know,
if you had
gameplay,
eliminated Ruin,
fighting,
obviously this would not
you know,
have happened. It would have
fuck
been
you
a
say this,
slightly more
but I
joyous
did
occasion.
not mind the way you were
But
fighting
ultimately,
in the
all
first
scenarios, you
Assassin's
still have
Creed.
an alliance
You
with
know,
Oswald.
Assassin's
He's
Creed
proven to
1,
be,
2, 3,
the right
all
leader
that
for this territory.
brotherhood,
And to be a
relation.
good ally for you.
It was easy to fight,
I promised you an
and you
alliance.
could easily like
Now you
kill
have it.
dozens, I don't know,
And one day I will
20,
need you
30
to make
people.
good on that alliance.
but it kind of made sense.
So we're about to take off from the wedding.
This is
Eivor
also what
decides it's a
pissed
good
me
idea to
off
check on
in
her friend Finner.
The Witcher 3 in the beginning.
So Finner is probably
you are
one
starting
of
the
more
game
recurring characters
as the
in
Witcher,
this arc.
as
You get to meet him
Geralt.
very early. He's a very endearing
And you're
character,
supposed to be a
sort
fucking
of
badass.
used to have
But
a
here
Viking
come a
life,
fucking
sort of misses it,
butcher, or I don't know, a
and
fucking
going through all these
bushwalker,
adventures together
and
is
I
sort
don't
of
know,
like a
some dude, some
lights
random
fire
dude, some
pack,
peasant
and so
with
he's
a fucking
willing to
axe.
join you in your raiders.
And this guy is
So he's
level
one of many
5 and
raiders
you're
that
level 2.
You'll encounter in the game, and you can
And
sort
even
of
though you're the
recruit, bring
fucking
back
Witcher,
home, and then
this guy
have them
can
sort
kill
of
you
join
with
on
2
your
hits,
adventures
you know?
on the
2 or 3 hits, you're
He
dead.
can tell you these stories that we're
And all you gotta do is fucking roll.
to know a little bit more about him. So again,
Fucking-
it's a fun
the whole
way to
fight, you
sort of
fucking
discover
roll.
more about these characters that you meet and bring them along for adventures.
Till you get to level
Together.
7, 9, 10, I don't know.
Gather my things.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough. Fizz,
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us. When and where can people play it?
Oh,
Assassin's Creed
fuck, you
Valhalla
gotta
will be on
synchronize
Xbox
this fucking
Series
shit
X
again.
and PlayStation 5, and is coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Stadia on November 17th.
Looks beautiful. Seems kind of
Assassin's
cool.
Creed Valhalla, available November 17th.
But man, it looks like it can it may get boring too damn quick. Well, there you go. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 30 minutes of gameplay. I'm looking forward for this game. But now I know, I'm 100% sure that this is exactly the same thing like Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The only thing that changes is that now you can fucking swing 2 shields at the same time. And you are a Viking. Yeah. Still looking for this game. Gotta play it to judge it, you know? Okay? There you go. Motherfucker.